Hi FlossTube, I'm Annie and I'm the Proper Stitcher, and welcome to episode number 54. If this is your first time joining me, welcome. Thank you so much for stopping by today. This is a channel where I like to talk about cross stitch, some quilting, and hopefully give you inspiration to fully finish your projects. And if you're returning, thank you for your continued support, for your comments, your emails. I read each and every one of them, and I appreciate the time you take not only to watch my videos, but to send me a message along the way. So I hope that you all are off to a wonderful start of your summer. I like to think that this is going to be a sweet summer. I found this adorable Rae Dunn mug. It says Sweet Summer. And I got two, one for me, there were only two there. I got one for me and one for my friend Kim, because we both are just looking forward to this summer full of so many wonderful things, and it is definitely going to be a sweet summer. But tomorrow is Kim's birthday. Kim is my good friend that owns Stich-Con, and she makes all those wonderful wooden boards that I use. So if you get a chance, go over to Facebook or to her channel, Stich-Con, and wish her a happy birthday. But on with our sweet summer discussion. I am so excited that both of my children are finally finished with school. My son had all of his finals this week. Yesterday was his last day. He leaves for camp on Sunday, so he and Matthew are out right now getting last minute things he needs to pack to go to Young Life camp. So it's going to be unusual not having him here next week, but he is so excited. He is glad to just be finished with this year. It's been a long year. We've had a lot of things go on in our house. So we're just ready for a refresh and for summer. And Gray, she had a great first week out of school. Thank you all so much for your wonderful comments on the graduation photos. And all of your kind comments that you had for her over the last few weeks. I really do appreciate that. But she's going to start working at a camp here in town, a day camp, and she is excited because she gets to work with kids. She gets to spend the day outside with them, and so she is looking forward to her summer plans too. As for me, I am going to several retreats this summer. My first one is Stich-Con, which is hosted by Keepsakes, which is a shop outside of Cincinnati. And they host this retreat every year, and it is a wonderful retreat where FlossTubers get to meet some of the viewers of their channel and just to sort of get to know each other a little bit better. I am going to weekend A, so that is in 2 weeks, June 8th, so 2 weeks from this past Wednesday. So excited because I get to be with Kim, I get to be with Kay and Ashley, and I am really looking forward to meeting so many of you who said that you will be at the retreat. I'm also looking forward to going to Keepsakes that weekend as well. Lots of fun things planned. I have the Stitching with the Housewives and Stich-Con. Kim is having a Christmas in July retreat in Greenwood, Indiana, and that will consume my time at the end of July. And we have a family vacation planned in June. I also am going to have another meet and greet at Cross Stitch and Crafts in Johnson City at the end of August. That's August 27th. So lots of dates. I'll make sure to list them below, between family trips, between retreats and meet and greets and all those wonderful things. I am really looking forward to this summer. The weather's great here right now. We've had a lot of rain. Everything's green and pretty, and it's cooled the weather off a little bit. So I know it's going to get hot and humid before we know it, but I'm enjoying this weekend already with the cooler temperatures. So let's jump right in to this week's show. So I have some haul to go over with you guys. I have some giveaways to give you, some giveaways from last week's video, and I have two finishes to show you. They're not fully finished, but they're finishes, and then to share with you some of my cross stitch plans for the summer and quilting plans for the summer. So grab a pen and paper, stick around, grab your favorite beverage, grab a snack, whatever it is you want to do, your cross stitch, and let's get started. Let me go ahead and do last week's giveaway so I can get those off of my table. So I asked you all the question last week, how old were you when you learned to cross stitch? And what I found very fascinating about this question is So many of you, yes, a lot of us commented that you learned when you were younger. You learned from either home ec or a family member, your grandmother, your mother, your sister. You learned when you were younger. A lot of you had learned when you were younger, took a long time off, returned later in life. But what I found fascinating was so many of you commented that you learned recently, or that you learned within the last few years, mainly during COVID, during the lockdown. A lot of you learned in your 60s and in your 70s. And I found that very inspiring that so many of you learned later in life. You learned as an adult, and that just shows us, it shows me especially, that it's never too late to start something new. And I just loved reading all of your comments and learning a little bit more about you, because it is always fun to learn something new, but to learn something new and to realize you have such a passion for it and that you want to keep up with it. So thank you so much for answering that question last week. But let's go ahead and go over those giveaways so I can clear some room on the table. So number 1 was my copy of Queen of the Needle by Brenda Gervais. Thank you all so much for your wonderful comments on my treasure box. Y'all are so sweet. I love my box, and hopefully that inspired you all and gave you some ideas on how to finish some things on a box. So Queen of the Needle goes to Sandy Palmer. Sandy Palmer. Number 2 is a quilt pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. It's So Emma design, Amarilla quilt pattern. This goes to Stacy Fallon. Stacy Fallon. Number 3 is this beautiful pink bag from Fat Quarter Shop. This goes to Sean Winrich. That's W-E-N-R-I-C-H. Sean Winrich. Number 4 is a pattern from Bonnie Woomer with the Nebby Needle. This is God Shed His Grace. This goes to Chris with a K, Chris Cross Stitches. Chris Cross Stitches. In this beautiful bag. Number 5 from Tammy Blaylock with Creative Country Girl. This is such a pretty bag. This goes to Crafting with Natalia. Crafting with Natalia. And number 6, this other project bag. This one is from Upper Meadow Design Company. Sorry, Upper Meadow Design Company. And I will link all these shops below if you're interested in going to check out some other things that they have in their shop. But this goes to Jenny Glover. Jenny Glover and these floss drops. So if I called your name, please email me at theproperstitcher@gmail.com. Tell me your name, what you won, and your address, and I will get these out in the mail to you next week. So I'm going to drop these on the floor, and we're going to go right into a fun finish that I had this week. I have stuff all over my table, so excuse me while I reach. Okay, so I started working on Artful Offerings, Seaside Sparrow, and this is my first Artful Offerings pattern to stitch, and I love it. I love their designs. I have so many of their designs, but I've not started stitching any of theirs. But I stitched Seaside Sparrow. We have nicknamed him Pierre because my friend Amy said he looks like Pierre. So this is Seaside Sparrow. And here's my finish. I cannot wait to fully finish him, but here is my finish. And isn't he just adorable? Oh my goodness. I am so happy with how he turned out. His little hat and his eyes and this shirt and his pants. So cute. So let me tell you about Pierre. I stitched him on 36 count, a Fiber on a Whim latte, 36 count. So I used 1 strand of floss over 2, and I used all the called for colors with the exception of the blue. The blue in here was supposed to be Cadet from Weeks Dye Works. I substituted it for Twilight because Cadet is green and I wanted it to be blue. So it could be a red, white, and blue. So I made that substitution. But I just love all of his little personality. So adorable. So this is Artful Offerings Seaside Sparrow. Had so much fun stitching him. Kim with Stitch Etc. is sending me a blue wooden board to finish him on, and so hopefully I will have that soon so I can have this finished for us next week to talk about. But such a fun quick stitch. I stitched this in a little bit every day, but I've had him done in about a week, a little over a week. So much fun to stitch though. Very simple, very quick, so much fun. So Seaside Sparrow Artful Offerings. And then I've also been working on JBW Designs Summer in the Round. Now y'all know I love Judy Whitman. You know I love her designs. This is part of her round series. She has round series for every season of the year, and she even has alphabets in the round. But this is Summer in the Round, and I finished it. This I switched to Wavy Navy. Is the color floss I used. I used the classic Colorworks Wavy Navy because I wanted it to be red, white, and blue. That's my theme, right? I wanted it to be summer, red, white, and blue, patriotic. So Kim is sending me a round wooden board for me to finish this one on. I stitched this on 32 count antique white linen. So I used two strands of floss over 2 threads of linen. So I love it. Look at all of the detail. Look at the lighthouse, the umbrella, the anchor, the little pail, the sea sparrow, the seagull, the little boats. So adorable. And the fish, the seahorse over here. I just love Judy's round series because I've said this so many times. Every little motif, when you're looking at the patterns, I can't show you the pattern, but she uses dots for her, for the pattern. And so my eyes cannot see the whole picture when I'm stitching it. And so as I'm stitching each little motif, it's like a little surprise, a little something coming to life. And when you look at it from afar, you can see all of those pieces just pop out. And so this was so much fun to stitch, so much fun. So what I did is, because I had this fat, I think this is a fat eighth, a fat quarter of the antique white linen, I went ahead, because I was watching TV with Gray, and we were binge watching a show, and so I didn't want to get up to go cut my linen. So I'm using this big piece of linen to make sure that, for both projects. So I have another start this week. So I finished Summer in the Round, and I have room on this side to do another round. And I think I'm going to do birds in the round on this side. So, but I wanted to go ahead and start, I'm showing it to y'all backwards. I wanted to go ahead and start another project when I finished this. And I had in the same bag Judy's An Elegant Alphabet. I showed this to y'all last week, and I was trying to decide what floss I wanted to use because I didn't want it to be too pink. I wanted it to be a little bit more red than pink. So I got Aztec Red from Weeks Dye Works. So this is the color that I've decided to go with. Here we go. Aztec Red. So it has just enough pink and just enough red in it. But I started it the same night I finished Summer in the Round. So I started this little piece right here. I think there's a bigger image for you to see. I just love how elegant this is. So here is my start on An Elegant Alphabet. And so see, I'll have plenty of room on this fabric to do another round and then to do Elegant Alphabet. So I started that beautiful twig with flowers and the letter B. I'm enjoying this one so far. It is so pretty. But here's a closer image of it. Judy is just phenomenal. She put out another FlossTube this past week where she talks about all of her alphabet series, and I really recommend you go over and check out her FlossTube if you want to learn a little bit more about her designs, her inspiration, all those wonderful things that she talks about in her videos. So those are 2 finishes, and I have 2 starts this week. So that was an elegant alphabet. And my other one that I started this week is by Barbara Anna Designs. I didn't start it, but I showed it to y'all probably a couple of months ago. I had started just like a little bitty piece of it. So I worked on some of this last night. This is Barbara Anna Dreaming Frida. And I just love Barbara Anna. All of her colors, they're so whimsical, so bright, so full of, just full of creativity. But this is how far I got last night. This is not a quick stitch. Lots of color changes, a lot of detail. But I am stitching this on 36 count Vintage Country Mocha. So I am stitching 1 strand of floss over 2. This, I'm using all the called for DMC floss. So let me show it to you again. So where I started was in the middle. So I am right here. This is what I've been stitching on. And I am stitching this for a gift for my friend Kim. So she and I both like Frida Kahlo, and I picked out a Frida design for her to stitch. It's also a Barbara Anna design. She picked one out for me to stitch, and then we're just gonna swap them, and this will be hers. So this, I love the modeling on this Vintage Country Mocha. I think it's gonna look great with all those colors. And the DMC colors are so pretty. I cannot wait to get to some of these teals and these aquas. And those flowers. But like I said, it's not a quick stitch, just because there are a lot of color changes. You just really have to pay attention to your pattern, because it's very easy to get mixed up when, especially, I'm not used to stitching a lot of color changes. I usually stitch just, most of the designs I pick don't have all of these colors. I think there's probably, I put these in floss bags, but there's probably 20 colors just in this one pattern. But it is so much fun, and the colors are so pretty. So that's one I'll definitely be focusing on, because I'd like to give that to her for Christmas this year. So those are my whips. Those are my finishes. I like to think that I'm getting a little bit more back into stitching. Again, I'm trying to keep with smaller pieces. I will return to or revisit some of my other whips that I have put aside, my bigger pieces, but for now I'm just sticking with the smaller pieces until I get back into the swing of things. And so I really wanted to pick some things with color, with creativity, and some smaller pieces. So speaking of smaller pieces, you all know I'm friends with Artie, who is the Vintage Stitcher. And she contacted me the other day. She wants to do a pincushion challenge for the month of June, and asked if I would like to join her. And I said, of course, I love pincushions, and I always like to be a part of the fun, right? So she came up with this idea that if you would like to join us, you can either make a pincushion, either cross stitch one and finish it into a pillow. You can make a pincushion and mount it on something. So what I thought I would do is show you a pincushion that I made a couple of years, or last year. I found this vintage tomato cup, and I made a pincushion out of this. And so I have a box, I need to find the box, but I have a box of all of those small little vintage bunt cans, tins, that make wonderful pincushions. If you are ever out at a antique store or vintage store, they have so many little things, like little jewelry boxes, or little bunt cans, little coffee cups, little things that you can make pincushions. If you would like to join us, she said that Janet Jabber is also going to join us, and I will link both of their floss tubes below. They're both FlossTubers. And if you're interested, already talked about the pincushion challenge this week in one of her videos. I will link that below. And then Janet Jabber, I don't know when she is going to mention the pincushion challenge, but she is joining us. We would love anyone who would like to join us, any FlossTubers, if you'd like to join us, mention it in your videos. Use the hashtag on Instagram, hashtag pincushion challenge 2022. So you can use these pincushions for yourself. You can use them as gifts. You can stitch them. You can put them in cups or little tins. Whatever creativity you have, you can make little strawberries, little drums, so many different ways of making pincushions. And I collect them. I often have some in my cabinet on my shelves. So these can be something for you. They can be for gifts. They can be for Christmas, whatever you'd like to do. So I hope you join in. And if you do, let me know, let Artie know. And if you share images, use the hashtag pincushion challenge 2022. So that is going to be so much fun to add to our summer. As I mentioned, I do have my upcoming retreats, and when I travel this summer, I will bring you along with me. I'll either do short little videos, post them on here on YouTube, or I'll put them on my Facebook page or on Instagram because I want you to see those retreats that I go to. I'll also, obviously, as usual, post photos and add photos to my videos. So let me know if you have any questions about that. All right, and so my cross-stitch plans for this summer, I have some kitted up cross-stitch plans to share with you. Excuse me. I am going to work on Keeper of the Pins this summer. This is Brenda Gervais of With Thy Needle and Thread, her latest release. I've shown this to y'all before. You have seen so many people stitching this. But in this booklet, you have 6 patterns that are tomato pincushion themed. So this will also qualify or count as one of my pincushion challenges. So I can't wait to start this. I called Johnson City the other day. I called Cross Stitch and Crafts, and I was calling to order some threads. And I asked Amy if she had any chili pepper, Classic Colorworks chili pepper. And she was sold out. She said, I don't know why I keep selling out of this. And I said, it's because it's the perfect shade of red for a pincushion, a tomato pincushion. So, and Brenda Gervais uses the chili pepper red for her red. I think there's also a DMC conversion for some of the colors too, but I will be working on this summer. So I have it kitted up. I haven't picked my fabric yet, but I think I'm going to do it on 36 count because I want them smaller, and I am going to finish them into pillows and put them in a basket, or in my case behind me or on the shelf. My other project that I want to start this summer, and we all know I don't need to be starting any more projects because I have so many whips, but I just want to start it. I can't help myself. But I saw Celeste with Celeste Creates stitch this, and she has posted the photos. She's talked about it in her video, but this is AH to EE. It's a reproduction 1806 Quaker Sampler from Kathy Barrick. And I love it. I love so much about this. I like the size. I think that it will fascinate and you know, entertain my Quaker Sampler interest, but it's not too big. So this is beautiful. I'm probably going to stitch this on 40 count, and I'm going to copy Celeste and use Wavy Navy. The Wavy Navy, same Wavy Navy that I used for Summer in the Round, I'm going to use the Classic Colorworks Wavy Navy for this. I will probably do this also on either 36 count or 40 count, and I'll probably use Vintage Country Mocha because I know I have enough of it and it's good to go, ready for me to start. But check out Celeste's, I'll link her below, her latest video. She shows the finish, and she also shows you a previous start that she had of this, and she made a mistake or decided she didn't like it. So she had gotten pretty far done, and she decided she didn't like the size of it, and she turned what she had started into a pillow. So I thought that was a fantastic idea. Of so many of us start something and we realize we're not that crazy about it. There's something off. Either it's the fabric or it's the floss we're using, something we've done, but we're too far into it to just throw it away or start it over. And she made a pillow out of it, and I thought that was brilliant. But I am going to start this, but go check out her channel. She shows you her latest finish of this, and she also posted it on her Instagram. I have two other I'd like to start this summer, and I have shown this one to you. I called Cross Stitching Crafts and got the rest of my floss. So they sent me all of my floss that I need for this. And this is Plum Street Sampler's Spring Moon that I will start. I've showed this to y'all recently. This is an exclusive pattern that you get through Fox and Rabbit on their website. And I hope to start that within the next month or so, now that I have it kitted and ready to go. And then last but not least, for my summer start, I'm so excited about this one. I am going to start Be Kind, Be True from Liz Matthews. Hello from Liz Matthews. And this is a bumblebee design that I'd like to have for August. I like to have some bumblebees, but I may not stitch the top. I may just make it, just bring that border down. So Be Kind, Be True, hello from Liz Matthews. So those are my cross stitch plans for this summer to at least get these started. I'm also going to start a quilt as soon as the fabric arrives from the Fat Quarter Shop. I am making a quilt for Gray's dorm room. And so she picked out some fabric on Fat Quarter Shop, and it's expected to arrive either today or tomorrow. So I'll share that with y'all next week. And I'm going to do a quilt as you go quilt, something quick and easy, probably a throw size or a twin size, just something that she can curl up with when she's at school. So those are my quilting plans this summer, and I will share that with you next week when I get the fabric in. Let me show you some haul that I got. This has been a pretty busy week for me with haul, just because I have a lot of things going on. For one, I did get a lot of beads. I am going to be making some more scissor fobs. These will be for the retreat that I'm attending, lots of Christmas themed scissor fobs. I'm also going to be making some scissor fobs to take with me to Stich-Con to use as giveaways. So a lot of people, and so I don't want to show you all of these, but I am making a lot of scissor fobs over the next few weeks. A lot of people at Stich-Con, I've never been, but from what I understand is they exchange little gifts, whether it's needle minders or floss drops, scissor fobs, scissors, little things like that. So I'm getting little goodie bags together of things that I will trade or exchange. It kind of sounds like trading cards, you know, just baseball cards or whatever. So I'm excited. I cannot wait to see what this event is like. I've heard so much about it over the years, and so I'm excited to attend my first Stich-Con. So I got some beads for making scissor fobs. I'll share those with y'all as I make them. But I went to sort of an estate sale of sorts. It was just a cross stitch needlework estate sale. You have heard me talk before about a store we used to have in Knoxville, and it was called Three Sisters. And the owner of the shop, her name was Deb Franklin. Well, Deb passed away about a year or so ago, maybe a little longer. And one of her former employees and Deb's husband have finally gone through all of her old inventory from the shop that she had left over, her stash, all of her cross stitch pieces, and they decided to sell the items. So Bridget was the employee that used to work for her, and she called me and said, would you be interested in coming? And so I went to the sale. It was a 2-day event, and I got quite a bit of things that I wanted to share with you. Some of them will be giveaways. Some of them are out of print, and some of them are stitched pieces that she had in her stash. They were either framed or they were stitched but not fully finished. So I'm going to start sharing some of those with you. So a lot of these, and it was an interesting thing to see because there were so many tables and so much stuff in there that it was just sweet to see that not only had she stitched these things or they were in her home, but now they are being passed on to friends of hers, people who love cross stitch, people who loved her. And so it was a really wonderful time to go in and see all of her things that she had. So first I'm going to show you some things that were either gifts given to her or things that she stitched and had finished. So these are all stitched, fully finished items. And I do not know most of these. I do not know. This looks like it was a gift given to her, but I loved it because of the blue. And this is from 2000. This was an ornament. Such a cute little pincushion. This I can recognize as a Little House Needleworks Silent Night. Here's another Christmas one. This says Merry Christmas to my friend. And it can be a door hanger or an ornament. This also looks like a Little House Needleworks or a Country Cottage. This is Joy and Peace. Cute little ornaments. This one even has a little, has the cording around it, the quilt cording. This is, I loved this finish. This is just it has a metal hook on it with rusty bells. It says Merry Christmas. This looks a lot like a Stacy Nash to me. I don't know if it is. It says Christmas is coming, the goose is getting fat. But that just looks like a Stacy Nash to me. I haven't checked to see. And these two pieces were stitched by Deb, but they were not finished. So here's this one, Remember Me. And this one, Long May She Wave. And so I will finish these into pillows and have them on my shelf. I just love that I know that she stitched these. They have her initials in it, and they're just beautiful. Her shop, I've told y'all that she is the reason I got back into cross stitching. And I happened to wander in her store one day, and I was by myself, and she had no customers, and she was able to talk to me about linen and floss and help me pick out what I wanted to stitch. And it was a Not Forgotten Farm piece. It was an Easter piece, and I will never forget that. And it was just so sweet of her to take that time to spend with me. But here's some more things I got from her shop. So these are some old JBW design pieces, and I've already sent Judy a text message with the images and to show them to her, and she said these are out of print. These are retired. They will not come back. So don't message her asking her to if these are available, because they're not. They're from like 1990s and early 2000s. So this is a JBW design, Holly Noel. I just thought that was beautiful. This is from 2003. Merry Christmas Miniatures. This is from 2004. Some of these will be giveaways in time. This is Antique Christmas. This one is from 2005. Sweet Nothings. This one's from 1999. And I've stitched this one, but I bought this as a copy for someone else. This is Plum Pudding. I love this piece. And then all kinds of old pieces. I got some Homespun Elegance. I got a Stacy Nash. This is a Little House Needleworks. This one came kitted. I think I paid $2 for some of these. Some Prairie Schoolers. Carriage House Samplings. This I know is old. This is a Heart and Hand Santa 2003. I saw Pam from Just Keep Stitching. She stitched this one, I believe. This is from the Marking Sampler. This is Quaker Pen. mattress, and this would work as one of my pin cushions too. I love that. This is Samplers Not Forgotten, Liberty. Threadworks, Needleworks, Let It Snow. I have Needlework Press, How Does My Garden Grow? And another Carriage House, Sarah Spur. And this Prairie Schooler, Cranberry Christmas. I couldn't believe I didn't have this one. And I even got, I got lucky. I found some R&R 32 count Winter's Brew. This is a yard, but she cut into it for something, but I got a big piece of 32 count Winter's Brew. It was so much fun to just stumble in and see all of these things. She also had antique samplers for sale, or they had some of her antique samplers. This one I did buy, and you'll see why. I mean, the colors are just so mean, but it's very old, and there will be a glare when I show it to you from the light. And I'm going to have this one reframed, but this is from 1865. And here's this beautiful antique sampler. Let me come in like this. And I just loved all of the colors on this. All the blues and the pale greens. So pretty. They had so many antique samplers, and they still have a lot of inventory that they are going to hopefully find homes for soon. But that was my haul from the estate sale. And I just, for those of you who knew Deb, you will probably understand what I mean, but she was just such a wonderful cross stitcher and a lovely shop owner. I really did enjoy going into her store. So a few more pieces of haul that I got. I ordered some things from JBW. After seeing those, I wanted to get some others. So I ordered some designs from JBW on her website. Judy has a website where you can go and purchase directly from her. You can also purchase from your local needlework store or online shops. So I got this floral alphabet. She also sent me some additional patterns for giveaways. I got Christmas in the Round, Alphabet in the Round. She had this one at Market that someone had stitched in Christmas colors. So this can even be a Christmas ornament. French Country Angel. Halloween Alphabet. I'm just hooked on all of her alphabets right now. And I got Scandinavian Ornaments 1 and 2. So here's 1. And here's 2. I got Sing a Song Christmas. This one is Winter Wonderland. And this one is Old Little Town Bethlehem. Cute little stockings. She even talks to you in her video about how she finishes some of her pieces. And then for giveaways, she was so kind to send us a stack for giveaways. So some of these will be in today's giveaway. This is Seaside Series 7. This one is Summer in the Round. And then she also sent French Country Bicycle, Blessings, French Country Wedding Bells. Look how pretty that is for a gift. Sweet Land of Liberty, and An Elegant Alphabet. So thank you, Judy, for sharing those with us. I will definitely make sure to put those into our rotation for giveaways. I got a gift from my friend Amy. Amy Garens is one of my really sweet friends that I met last year at the Stitch Etc. retreat. She sent me a birthday present. She sent me charm packs and a thread key. And this is the latest Blackbird design fabric. This is called Threads That Bind. And so she sent me 3 charm packs for me to make a throw blanket. Isn't that pretty? So thank you, Amy. You were so sweet. And I cannot remember if I shared this with y'all, but I got the last 2 Thread Milk bowl series. Sorry. This is Vintage Country, Cozy Christmas Cottage, and this is Halloween. So these will definitely make their way into my rotation. When I called Cross Stitch and Crafts, I got the thread that I needed for these. So those will be great little quick pin cushions that I can stitch. And then last but not least, from Dot Dot Goose, I ordered a Halloween project bag with the Teresa Kogut fabric. Isn't that just adorable? I love those girls on here. So cute. So cute. So that is all of my haul. I hope that you saw some things in there that you liked, and let me know if you have any questions about them. Now, I do have some giveaways for this week. So to enter the giveaway, all you have to do is be a subscriber, like my video, and answer the question below. So we do have, I believe we have 8 giveaways this week. So the question I want you to answer is, what is your favorite season to stitch? What is your favorite season or holiday or theme? What is your favorite thing to stitch? So answer that below, and I can't wait to read all of your responses. So here are our giveaways for this week. Number 1, and so answer the question and then use the number 1, number 2, the number that you're interested in being entered to win. You're welcome to enter to win all of them. But number 1 is Seaside Series by JBW Designs. Number 2, Summer in the Round from JBW Designs. Number 3 is from Fat Quarter Shop, and it is a quilt pattern, Away We Go. It's an It's So Emma pattern. Number 4 is Stitching Row from Bent Creek. Number 5 is a Blackbird Designs pattern. This is Savoir Faire. Number 6 is also a JBW Designs from Judy. This is French Country Flower Basket. Number 7 is from Fat Quarter Shop. It's the Cross Stitch Journal. And number 8 is Bobby by Kathy Barrick. This is a release from this year. So those are our giveaways for this week. I hope that you all have a wonderful Memorial Day weekend. Get some stitching time in, some good family time in, and that everyone is safe and has a wonderful weekend. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next week.